still stood tall on the hill. A woodcutter came and he said, while he was looking at the second tree, "Wow, this is strong, it's perfect for me." The swoops of the shining ace in the second tree fell. And while he's being carried away by the woodcutter, the tree shouted, "Now I shall say mighty waters. I shall be a strong ship for mighty kings." The woodcutter took the second tree to a shipyard, but that day no mighty sailing ship was made. Instead, the one strong tree was hammered and sawed into a small fishing boat. She's too weak to sail the 7 seas, too small to cross the ocean. Instead, she was taken to a little lake. The second tree cried terribly that day and said, "Oh, my dream was not fulfilled. I am too small. I can easily sink. I cannot even cross a river with my size, and no king will sail on me. All I have are stinking net and rotten fish." Ooh. Days and night passed, and the second tree, after her long misery and deep loneliness, forgets her dream. But one evening, a tired traveler and his fishermen friends crowded into the small, stinking fishing boat. The second tree sailed on the lake. The lake was so peaceful, and the travelers fell asleep as she sailed quietly. Soon a thundering and thrashing storm arose. As strong wind blows, the rain poured down. The thunder was deafening, and the lightning ripped the sky. The water of the lake became furious. The little tree shuddered and became afraid. She knew she did not have enough strength to carry many passengers safely through this wind and rain. All the passengers were disturbed and afraid. The boat is sinking. The tired man woke up. He stood up and stretched out his hand and said, "Peace." And the storm stopped suddenly. The second tree wondered to herself and said, "Who is this man that even wind and waves obey him, and he can even walk on water?" When the tree saw that the other passengers worshipped him, she excitingly overjoyed. Suddenly, she remembered her dream. Her dream is fulfilled. The man sailing on her is not a fisherman, but a fisher of men. He is not an ordinary king, but the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, the King of heaven and earth. The last tree stand alone on the hill. The woodcutter came and said, while he was looking upon the big, tall tree, he said, "Wow, this tree is so tall. This can be used to many games." The swoop of his shining axe cut the tree. No, I have to stay here," the tree cried. The third tree, all against her will, fell to the ground, and that day her dream came to an end. The third tree was even more confused when the woodcutter cut her into strong beams and left her in a lump yard. What happened? The once tall tree wondered. All I ever wanted was to stay on the mountaintop and point to God. The tree became sad, desperate, and lonely. Her dream died on that day. But one Friday morning, the third tree was surprised. That day, when her beam were pulled out from the forgotten woodpile, she trembled when she was carried through the jeering crowd, and was even horrified when a soldier nailed a man's hand to her. The third tree felt ugly and harsh and cruel. She said, "Who is this criminal hanging on me? What has he done to deserve this punishment?" Bewildered, the tree heard all the mockery of the people on her foot. The man hanged on her and died that afternoon. The tree noticed that the heaven also cried that day. But on Sunday morning, there was an earthquake. The earth trembled with joy beneath her. The man was crucified and died, but rose up from the dead. The third tree realized that God's love has changed everything. The man she carried is the Son of God. And John 3:16, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only Son, for whoever believes in him shall not perish, but have an everlasting life." The third tree cried of joy. Her hope of dream was fulfilled. And every time people thought of the third tree, they would think of God. So the moral of this story that when things don't seem to be going your way, always know that God has a plan for you. And if you place your trust in him, he will give you great gift. Each one of the trees got what they wanted. Their dreams, but just not in the way they thought it would be. Not the way they would imagine. We don't always know what God's plan is for us. We just know that his ways are not our ways. But his ways are always the best. Could you have all the